Okay, this is an app for capturing the questions from the tests, right? So you start it off like this. It's called Questiongrabber, right? Now, you start it off, it creates a setting file automatically in the folder that you place it, right? And anything that it captures goes into this folder where it exists, where this actually exists, right? Okay. So let's say we're in a test and you've got there, now let's say you want to capture, let's say, an area of that screen to a file, right? So there's a number of options here. You want to cut area of screen to file, right? So I click on that and it will take a snapshot of the screen surrounded by a blue border. Now that's an image. It looks like this what it was, which is the whole idea, but that's an image which has a blue border around it. Now, if you left mouse click and then drag, you will capture an area, let's say a small area. Now that area was cut to a file, right? And it was placed in the directory where the exe is, right? So now they're all time stamped, right? That's the thing. So that's what we've just captured there, right? We should go back there. Now let's say you want to cut an area to a file and to your clipboard, right? So you say you want to do something with it, but you also want to record it as a file. So do the same thing again. Get a blue border and let's say just cut that section out there. Okay, now that's on the clipboard and it's in a file, right? So we'll check. So there's a second file created now, right? But now it's also on the clipboard. So if I go in there, then it'll just paste that into file, right? So that's the first. Now you can cut an area of the screen to the clipboard as well, which is basically the same functionality as that, but it's the same thing. So you cut area of screen to clipboard. So just go directly there now. Let's say do that again. Let's cut that small section with blue mark and go back in here. And then I've pasted that one in there. Okay, so that gives you an idea how that works. Okay, now here, this is the snap button, and this is when you're in you need to move fast, right? If you're in a test, you just need to click that. That's it. There's no time getting into these settings. So this rate says on snap, capture full screen to file, right? So you get the whole screen captured to a file on snap, right? So I'm going to set that mode, and when I set that mode, it goes red. That means it's the road. That's the other mode when it'll capture an area of screen and you have to define the area. But at the moment, it's the whole screen. When I click snap, it'll capture the entire screen, right? So I'm going to do that now. Now it flashes on and off because it needs to make itself invisible while it's taking a picture of the screen. Now we've got the third file there. And obviously you can see it's much bigger because it's the entire screen which we just snapped, right? So give you an idea there. So that's the whole screen that was snapped there, okay? Now you want it, let's say you want to capture an area on snap. Now this is useful. Let's say you're in an exam and you just want to capture the question area, the client area. Let's say you have stuff, you just want to keep it small. This is important because you just want the question only. You don't want anything else. When it comes to later on, it'll help if you want to run the images through an OCR, which means it'll just get to the question and there'll be no other junk in there, right? So you can define the areas you want, or define the area where the question is only, right? So first of all, if you want to capture an area of screen to file, you're going to have to define the area that you want it to snap. So it'll give you the option to do that. So that's taking a snap. So let's say I just want the question. So I'll go like here, and you can just drag it. And so that'll capture. Okay, so now you've defined that, right? So that's red, say, look, you've defined it. Every time I hit snap, it's going to capture that particular area to the file, right there. So it'll snap on and off, and that's all. So it's not doing the full screen because it's set on. Now this is handy. Let's say you're in the exam. This is the tester. Let's say we just want to define the client area of this. I think this is familiar to everybody. So let's say you just want to, let's say you just want this area. You don't want any of this captured, so you'll just define a region roughly that will capture the question. You probably wouldn't want to be doing this during the exam, so you actually would probably have to get it right before. So that would pretty much give you most of the question without anything else there. So that's defined now. So every time you hit snap, you'll be able to capture the question. You just hit snap, 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 right? And it doesn't make any noise. It doesn't give you any pop-ups to say it's been saved, so you can keep going, right? Now that's great. In exam mode, you probably wouldn't want to have all this up, this other stuff, so you can collapse it that way. And that's the minimize button. Now this button here will put you into stealth mode, right? So let's say I want to move. First of all, I'm going to move it down here. This is where you normally answer the questions. So you can put it around here. And this one makes it very small. So you could go snap, answer, snap, answer, snap, answer. And that'll just collect all the questions. When you want to get out of the micro mode, you can move it back around then, okay? There you go, right? And that minimizes it, right? Okay. Now, let's say you want to capture an area of screen 2 file on Snap or the full screen. Let's say you just want the client. Now, you just define the client area, and you're in the test, and that'll just keep on saving them the questions to a file. So you'll have them then at the end of the test. You'll have all your questions there like that, right? Now, let's say you wanted to copy it at the same time you wanted to copy onto your clipboard, so you could paste it into WhatsApp while you're in the test or whatever you do, right? So you could put that like that. Then every time you snap, you'll get one of these files being created, but you'll also have it on the clipboard, and then you can paste it wherever you want, right? Okay. Now the position of this thing will be remembered. If you go save top left corner position, every time you open it, it will appear where you left it, right? Okay. That will open up the containing folder to show you where the exe is and all of the images. Again, you can sort by date, but that's a timestamp on it there as well to help, right? The border width. Now, when you let's say you're back in here, let's say you cut an area of screen to file, right? That gives you the blue border, which is a very small border. That's at the moment it's set at 5. If you put it at 10, you will get a bigger border that you can see then, right? But you can't actually click on that because it's not sensitive to the mouse. But it may well help, right? In some cases when you don't need that type of definition to define your area. Now, if you want to cancel out of, let's say you change your mind, they all have that button up at the top right corner. You just cancel and you're back to here again, okay? That's it then. Now, it's normal for it to flicker on and off because it's making itself invisible. So if you see that, that's by design. There, okay, and there, that's the actual page where you'll find the download link, and there's a donation there, and just copy the URL to clipboard. That's it. Now, the thing about this is that if you capture the question very clean and you don't have all of this stuff in here and you define your area well, you can run it through an OCR thing. This is one place, newocr.com. Now I've uploaded this file here. Now I've just uploaded that one. That's one I captured earlier on, right? Now you go preview, and then you hit OCR. There's a lot of places that'll do this. Then you scroll down. That's the original thing, and that's all the text, right? Now you can, since the images are very clean and they're not from your phone, you can actually do this. Now you can copy that then, and that's in text format, so you'll have to clean it up a little bit, but you can put it into your own question bank that way, right? And that's pretty much it. Okay, all right, cheers.